Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into my review of the brand new LEGO Marvel Superhero set number 76210, the Infinity Saga Hulkbuster. This is going to be retailing for $549.99 USD or $699.99 Canadian, beginning on November the 9th. But if you are a VIP member, you can pick this up early on November the 4th. And as you've seen from the thumbnail and the title of the video, I was really not looking forward to doing this video. Whenever I'm negative about a set, I try and find the positive. And with this, I genuinely cannot. It's so frustrating to me, this set. One of the questions while I was live streaming, people would come back to the stream, they're like, well, is the build picking up? Are you enjoying it? I can confidently say I did not enjoy this build, and I dreaded it. I went to sleep because I couldn't take it anymore. Like, the build of this is not a fun build in my opinion. This is the largest LEGO superhero set of all time. It is the largest mech LEGO has ever released, and I look at the price point, I look at the size, I look at what it's trying to represent and what it's from, and it saddens me, it frustrates me, it checks off so many boxes to make this the worst. Personally, it's probably the worst set I personally have ever built, but it's also the worst LEGO Marvel superhero set, definitively. Like, there's 4+, there's the little Mighty Micros. I'll take any of those sets over this. I often say, because I was sent this from LEGO and LAN, sometimes in the review, especially with large scale sets like this, I say that, I wouldn't buy this if it wasn't my job. I wasn't sure if I was being sent this, and just from the word of mouth before even seeing it, I already was like, I don't think I'm going to buy this. I'm not spending, for me, $700 on this, plus 13% tax here where I live. And to top it all off, if you really want to, because if you didn't know, the Iron Man figure fits inside, which I'll show you, but that's an additional $40 and then $50, depending on where you live. So there's a lot for this, and it's just not worth it. It's not worth the time, the stress of building it. I'll show a clip right now of me struggling with putting on the legs. I cannot tell you how many times, if you want to go back and watch the stream, just the amount of fragile builds in this, the gaps in this set. I feel so bad with everything that I said about the Black Panther bust in comparison to this, because this is just so poorly designed. I really don't understand some of the build techniques. They're stuff that I've never seen before done in LEGO. That's not a positive thing. That's not, oh my goodness, they were ingenuitive with this new design. It's, no, the builds are so fragile, and I do not understand how quality control allowed this set to be made in the state that it's in. There are so many problems with the light bricks that people have been complaining about since 2018. If you didn't know, there are a total of 3 light bricks, which is adding to the price of this set. You could see it in the hands. You could see it in the arc reactor. And all of these light bricks are adding to the cost. Back in 2018, when we first got the original UCS Hulkbuster set, LEGO has only 2 colored light bricks, yellow and red. 4 years later, we had the Iron Man buildable figure. Issue there. You're shining it through a blue piece, it still comes out as yellow. Here, it still comes out as yellow. The fact that 4 years later, they decide to release a larger version, more expensive version, and the biggest complaint, if you go back and watch videos, read posts, read reviews on lego.com, it's the light and the stability. But the light for the old one, and now this one, is still yellow. How they didn't fix that is beyond me. I will say, the chest piece in the center, I think it's really cool that it's using the new piece there from the lighthouse. It actually helps to concentrate and project the light that's being shined through. I think that's really cool. And the functionality of it, while the peg in the front of the chest looks not appealing, I still think that the functionality and how that pin actually works, it's quite interesting. However, I couldn't tell you how many times I've broken that off just by pushing on it.
But in the hand, there's more lights.
The functionality of it and everything, like I think the fingers are well designed, honestly, and how the hand can turn, how it's on the back there. I think that's quite neat. And you can do a couple of different poses here with this for sure. I do appreciate that. And there's also a glow-in-the-dark piece inside there. But it's also just kind of small and it's lacking. I feel like I can see it. All the joints, which is something that the Infinity Gauntlet and the Nano Gauntlet do a great job of covering up. I want to be able to turn this to show you this piece because I really like this. I think that's actually probably my favorite part of the build was this part here. It has to do with the gold probably, but this thing's so heavy, and there's nowhere to rotate this arm. It is stuck in place here. This is it. This is the only pose. You can change it here with the hand. You want to raise it a bit, you can do that. But in terms of turning this, you cannot turn it. And I'm sure as you go around and do this, all these things here, they're coming loose. There's so many things about this. You need to be so gentle with this set. So over here, I like this part of the build. I like the design of this part and just the shine, and I think they got the shape of that great. But the fact that you've got all these joints exposed, this is what this side of the arms looks like, and you've got some different stickers there on the top than the front. My least favorite part of this set, besides all the gaps, is the shoulders. I don't know what's going on here. It reminds me of a Ninjago mech, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying that in a way that, like, has a pointed shoulder. The actual Hulkbuster doesn't have that. You can angle this a bit, but then, like, look at that there. Look at all of the inside that you can see. The actual Hulkbuster, you can't see that. And you can move that there, but then you've got this huge exposed gap. So it's like you move one thing to fix something else. You know, you want to maybe move the shoulder up there, but then you've got this weird angle here for the arm. I will say I like how the arm moves. There is a sticker there on the top, by the way, but I like the smoothness of that and how the arm wobbles. But like, that's fine in the shoulders, but the fact that the rest of the arm has no rotatability or anything like that, that's the issue, not so much there. Again, very cool design, I think, there. There's just not enough parts being used here for a $550 set. And look at that from that side. Like, that's what it looks like. And as you go down here, you could see all inside there, all these little gaps that you've got going on there. Like, that's unacceptable. This belt down here, it looks like a belt. It doesn't look like it's actually a part of this. There's a huge gap. I can stick my whole finger down there. You could see inside here in the back, you've got another gap there. There's so many things about this. As you come down here, you can see inside. This is what it looks like from underneath. It's a bunch of plates. It's just 2 plates. Like, it's not complete. They didn't add any dark red pieces underneath there to attach to that. There's nothing there. Like, that is so ugly. And it's so tall. You can see that. If you want to put this up on a shelf, you're going to see that. And it looks incomplete. It goes round there and then flat. The legs and the feet are probably some of the most enjoyable parts in terms of, like, connecting it all. It was a difficult process to actually connect it to the rest of the torso, but in terms of some of the builds and how they cover that up, like, I think that looks quite good, honestly. Some of the builds there, I like the different angles and everything that they've got going on. That is a print there. As you come on down, got a glow-in-the-dark part there on the knee, and of course the other knee is just a reflection of that. You've got a sticker right there. And then as you come down here, you can see the feet. Not sure what's going on here in the front. You've got exposed Technic holes. You've got these shields here up in the front. And then over here, you've got some gold. Here's what the glow-in-the-dark parts and the lights look like with the lights off. Let me show you the back here. Look here. Look here at the back. Look at all of the gaps over there in the front of the foot. You've got gaps over here from this side. As you come on up, you could see this huge gap there. And by the way, you might think, oh, you could just move this. No, it is stuck in place. And it falls off so easily. This attachment here, these bricks, because of the slope there, how they've got a little slope, they're not very strong. They need to be reinforced. Again, in any other Lego set, you would never find a build technique like this. The fact that it's attached there, 2 plates, also just putting that on, this little plate came loose here. And I think this also, it's such a poorly designed set. Like, look at the gap there. You could see you've got some glow in the dark, or no, that's just white and some pearlescent blue there. But this is what it looks like here from the side. Look at the gap into the inside. I haven't even touched the inside. For some reason, you've got a hatch here. Handle just fell off. Coming on up here, you've got this inverted spot here with this that can lift up, and you can see the inside there from this side. Got some lights, some transparent pieces, I guess, for like the flying aspect of it. Couldn't tell you how many times this is broken off as well. Just some of the parts there. It's not meant to be touched. It's not meant to be played with, except I'm not even doing much. I'm not doing much. And technically speaking, it's for kids. I know the box says 18 up, but you're meant to take this guy and put him inside. I have never seen a car hood piece attached to bricks here like this and then not enforced any other way. That's it. That's how it's built. This part here, also loose. It already fell off there. Like, and it fell off again. All right, so this piece here, by the way, phenomenal. I took it apart just to show you. Like, it is truly a piece of art. Like, this part here, it is huge. I'm doing a comparison, like I mentioned before, to the other Hulkbuster, but it's a beautiful piece. Like, absolutely beautiful. And it just attaches on up there. It's great. Not sure, looking at the whole chest, by the way, it's so elongated. You've got the arc reactor down here when it should be here. The whole chest, in terms of the size, by the way, where the figure's height goes to, it's double the size almost that it, like, the chest should be. It doesn't make sense. Anyways, to show you here, you gotta lift this up, then this part lifts up, this part lifts up, this part comes on down, this part comes on down, and then again, it doesn't look very visually appealing, looks very incomplete for an interior. You take this, and this is the first time I'm doing this. I have not tried to do this before. Just sits on in there. Sort of, yeah, he's good to go, I think. Close it on up. You're good to go. He's in there. You can't do much with him. That's about it. The arms, by the way, they can make the repulsor blasts. I think that is very cool how you can do that. I heard something else break, not sure what it was, but... And this is what the inside looks like as well, in case you were curious and wanting to see how far it goes down. Just want to try putting a couple of different things inside to actually see if they fit. So let's open it up here, and you can take Tony Stark figure included. Falls on through. That's just more of, I guess, the purpose for the door in the back. A couple people asked me, please make sure, can you test to see if the other buildable figures can fit inside? And let's see, shall we? There we go. Easy does it. Come on. There we go. So Spider-Man does fit inside. Maybe that hatch is for holes in the back, as you just saw, for stuff falling out. Now, of course, if Spidey fit, then that should mean that Miles shouldn't have any problems fitting inside. See, I'm not touching it, and it fell off. And last but certainly not least, the one that I don't think is going to fit because he's quite wide, but let's try it anyways here. Let's get the feet on in there. There we go. One arm. Two arms. Moment of truth here. Bend that. More stuff falling off, doesn't matter. Okay, that I'll give it that. The tongue sticking out, that's pretty cool. But again, why is there a gap anyways there? And here is the plaque. It's actually got the same information as the other Hulkbuster. I think the only difference when I was comparing is there's a comma there in between multiple repulsors. But yeah, we'll take a look again at that in the comparison. But this is the build here. So here's the Tony Stark figure included, and this is meant to be after his fight with Hulk when they are making Vision in the lab. So yeah, it's cool variant. I was wrong in my leak and reveal video. That original figure from the Avengers Tower promo, that's actually from the first Avengers movie. That suit that he's wearing is the Mark 8, not the Mark 43. So yeah, we're also getting, I guess, a look at what the new printing would look like on a Mark 43 in the new Infinity Saga line. The face is not new, neither is the hair used for him here. Spinning it around here on the back, he's got his heads-up display as well as some very detailed back torso printing. Here's the instructions. And I like the design of it, I guess. At least it's not sort of like the foosball one that seems to be phasing out the specialized instructions. But I like the lines and everything. You've got, it's sort of blueprint-y with all the designs here. I think that's great, very Tony Stark-esque. But that shows you what you're focusing on there. The chest, and then here it's the legs in booklet 2, the thickest book. And that's the build when you're done with it. And then here you're focusing on the top part there, a little bit on the legs. And then there's the full build. So I think that's quite cool. Now in instructions 2 and 3, nothing special. However, here we've got the stuff on the designer. So here you can see an official picture there of the actual Hulkbuster. There's a gold strap there. There's no gold strap at all present in the final build. Look at it there. You can, again, do a side by side. You'll see tons of things here. Like what's with the pointed shoulders? Look at that angle. That angle is not in those shoulders. Great looking pose, just shouldn't be an MCU Hulkbuster. Here's a designer if you want to stop and read about how he designed the biggest Lego mech ever. Talks about fitting in the figure. And then the graphic designer. And then you're into the build. There you go. That's my review of the Hulkbuster. I have very little interest in large scale sets like this. I think that this would be better off if it wasn't trying to be the one from the movie. I said this on stream as well, that I was like, I look at this, I see the pointed shoulders. It reminds me of almost the mech, like the mech show or whatever they were launching that we got that tie-in with the Green Goblin, the monster fighter mechs or whatever that was. The price of this is insane. If you do the price per piece, it comes to 13 cents, which is above average. Of course, the price did change by $50. Luckily, it wasn't more. It definitely could have been a lot worse. There's some things here that were just so difficult to build that are so minute and too small for adult hands. The amount of times that I was building something and it fell apart as the weird attachments that they've got you doing here. Again, I'm sorry. I cannot recommend this set. I know I was sent it for free, and there's going to be some people being like, oh my gosh, just shut up and enjoy your free products. Like, that's not my job. My job is to review the product. I'm here reviewing the product. This is not up to Lego's standards. This is not the best they can do. Yes, it's sad that this is the $500 set and wasn't any of the other things we wanted. Regardless, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think now, seeing it in action? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Are you going to pick this up on the 4th or the 9th? But stay tuned for that comparison video, as well as if you want to check out my review of the Iron Man buildable figure. Boy, I love that thing a lot more, honestly. It is actually posable. So anyways, hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. We'll see you all in the next one.